flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Going till there ain't nothing, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Going till there ain't nothing, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Going till there ain't nothing, keep the flame on, nothing, keep the flame on, nothing, keep the flame, keep the flame, keep the flame on.
Hello everybody and welcome beautiful far north Queensland, a Wednesday afternoon, early evening, and this is week 4 of the Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. What a wonderful season it has been so far as we continue to fly through it, and tonight the Southside Flyers, who continue to play wonderful basketball against the Adelaide Lightning. These teams met a couple of days ago. There has been a slight tinkering. Ellie Wilson is going to play, so that is good news for the Lightning, and I cannot wait for this one. It is Lifeline round. We're going to get into that in a little bit as well. My name's Cam Luke, joined NBL champion from Melbourne United, Pete Hooley. Hello to you.
G'day, mate. No, good to be here. As you said, they played each other a couple of days ago, but it is a different type of game now with Ellie Wilson back in. She's going to change the way that they go about their business, and hopefully Lightning can start getting back that momentum they had before the quarantine. In
particular, in the situation you mentioned, they started so brilliantly. I had them on opening night when they beat the Caps in overtime, and it looked like that Chris Lucas got this team playing so well and in the quarantine situation. So they've got to get back into it, but they've got to get back into it quickly. And it starts tonight because, as we know, it's a short season.
Yeah, it does. And the Flyers have kind of been exposed a little bit on their guard play. So it'll be interesting to see how those two start with Wilson and really see if she can really start to get the momentum going.
All right, plenty more on the Southside Flyers very shortly. But it is, as I mentioned off the top, Lifeline round in the WNBL. And it's a wonderful cause, and it continues to raise awareness and finances for people that have been unfortunately struck by tragedy or continue to struggle through. Now, Jenna O'Hay, and it's been well publicised in the past that there is a very, obviously, unfortunate, tragic situation that occurred close to her family a little while ago. So Lifeline round, this is what you need to do to get involved. Text WNBL to 0428 519 716. We'll continue to refer over the course of the night to the number. You jump on all the WNBL socials as well to make sure you get the links and the best way to get about it. So Jenna O'Hay put up a very touching Instagram post this afternoon. We see the Southside Flyers are donating money from all their assists, their combined assists over the whole round. So this is a huge situation, Pete, and it's one that unfortunately touches too many people, both personally, maybe yourself or someone you know. And Lifeline is a wonderful idea. It does a great job. And I am, Pete, tonight, for every point that is scored by both teams, whatever the combined points are, I'm going to donate $1 to this wonderful initiative to be able to help people who are struggling.
No, it is great, and I love that from you, and I'll be there right with you on that. And I want to up the stakes for you. Obviously, you're having a pretty good year yourself. So if there's a dunk tonight, 500, I reckon.
All right.
Done.
I'm going to assume that the only one dunking is Lynn
Someone get the message.
But if there is a dunk tonight, so I'll have the combined points, $1 per point, and an extra 500 if there is a dunk in tonight's game to Lifeline.
Thank you very much.
There's a promise. All right, let's get to some interviews as well. We'll talk more about it over the course of the night. But Ellie Wilson, we mentioned it just before, the fact she missed the last matchup. She's going to play in this one. And we spoke about that momentum and getting it back after quarantine.
Yeah, definitely. I think coming out of that 1 week in quarantine was a little bit tough for us, that first game against Melbourne. But I think from there we've been playing really well, we've been training really well. So I think that we could get on a bit of a roll.
Yes, we do. And I mean, it's always hard to be in a superstars team, but it means we just have that much more to give, and everyone understands what they need to do now, and we can really focus on our defence and our extra passes.
And lastly, Steph, we seen a beautiful feature last week of you and baby Arlo and how it's all going in the hub. Do you think you'll ever have as many nannies or babysitters as you currently have?
Oh, they've already put their hands up now, so they're stuck with him, and when I need a break, I'm calling someone up and they can come and get him.
There you go. Steph Blitzarves on him moments ago. She was talking about finding their roles. You know how star-studded the Southside Flyers are, and occasionally, when you have a team as loaded as this on paper, they do struggle to find early doors into a season, the right combination. She spoke about that, and it does feel a little bit different the last couple of days.
Yeah, it really feels like that they're starting to click and find that role clarity. And they're a team that, as loaded as they are, they've been resting players minutes-wise rather than games. They've kept the same starting five. The role clarity is really starting to flow, which is going to be crucial in a season like this. And on the flip side, the Adelaide Lightning obviously coming off a different kind of last couple of weeks, and Alex Wilson having to rest with all these kind of things. So their stuff keeps changing, but she's back now, which is going to be huge. But they're going to be led by Steph Talbot, who's just having an unbelievable season, averaging 21, 10 and 4. She's an opal in my book. She's going to be going to the Olympics. She's just outstanding. are a confident team when they're rolling. So it would be interesting to see how they come out and play now. And when Steph and Alex are really going, these young girls really just lift and play with so much confidence. And I look for them to go early here with this energy.
Talbot to start, as you touched on, Weerung as well. Wilson back, Tomlinson and Whittle, O'Hay, Cole, Cambage, Mitchell. And Blitzars for Southside. We're about to get underway at the Snag Pit. The old Bunnings, Cairns Pop-Up Arena, but the Snag Pit is what we're affectionately going to term it going forward. Cam Luke, Pete Hawley. Wednesday night, Chemist Warehouse WNBL action. Let's get this underway. Cambage to Mitchell. Cole having a wonderful year as well. And no double team, so Cambage just look, shoot. She's down. She's got from 13 foot the first 2 points of the night. Here is Wilson. Gets into the key, takes a little bump from Cambage, was able to fight through it though, kiss it off the window, her first 2 of the night. We're all tied up at 2.
That's just a great take going in amongst the trees, and we know how good Liz is, especially as that help side defender, just going at her body and really trying to get her off balance. That's a really, really tough finish.
Cambage, almost the exact same face on Tomlinson. This one doesn't get the roll. Talbot averaging 10 boards a game, as Hawley spoke about it early on. That's her first. Weerung was hot the other day, early. This one's off the eye. Cole, Pick Cole, another Opal squad member. 3x3 player as well. Back to Cambage. She's feeling it early from 17 foot. She's almost getting any shot she wants. She's 2 or 3. She's got the first 4.
Well, she hasn't. She hasn't even done her real deep seals and getting those easy cheapies, and she's getting her eye in now, which could spell a long night for the Lightning. But I'd like to see Tomlinson just do her work a little bit earlier and really try and push her away or try and get up and in. You see she was trying to close the gap, but when she's already hit one and she's confident taking that other one, you're going to have to try and do something else, try and stop her getting that ball. Steph
Talbot, extra little step on the spin. First turnover for the Lightning. Talbot v Blitzards, 2 Opals going at it as well. It's going to be fun to watch. Here is Cole, little backdoor, gets the half a foot in front of Weerung, gets all the way to the bucket, and that lead is now 4. Talbot, but Tomlinson was moving. She's able to hook up Blitzards. Ref said it was illegal, so another turnover, 2 straight for the Lightning. It's just not the type of start you need when Southside are firing at all cylinders.
No, you just can't afford to be. You've got to get a shot down the floor every single time, because Southside will make you pay, and it might not matter too much now, but if that continues in this game, it could get ugly quick. But looking after the ball, and especially Tomlinson, you're going to have to play a lot against Liz. You can't afford those little fouls.
Mitchell had plenty of options. Blitzards was the one she chose. Little hard off the iron. Now it's going to be Talbot. Straight up Blitzards. Right at the body again. Kisses it off the window. Her first 2 points. And that's better from the Lightning, attacking in a little semi-transition. And it's back to 2 as a spin from Cole. Kicks it outside. Wide open is Blitzards right in front of the Southside bench. They're up. The Townsville waving. The lead is 5.
She's been terrific all season. She is the barometer of this Southside Flyers team. Her energy, it's a great little pass there, but she does everything. She's plays 29 minutes a game and just steps up in the spots where she's needed to. Blitzards will take the Flyers as far as they can, because we know we're going to get from Liz. We know we're going to get from these other players, but I think she's that barometer of that team.
Now an offensive foul at the other end as you look at Liz Cambage. Just a millisecond late, but did enough to be able to knock Wilson.
Got to give credit to Wilson there, just trying to fight through, and it might be an unfortunate call, but when you've seen Wilson's energy on the defensive end from the start, she made that layup and then full court pressure on Lilani Mitchell. She's kind of set that tone, which resonates with the umpires to know that that's what's going to be happening, and she's playing aggressive defense.
Something the refs have been hot on all season as well, the offensive fouls. Big focus on it to make sure there's no illegal screens being set. Here's Weerung. Now she's going to take on Cambage aggressively. Runs out of real estate. Now it's Talbot. Shot clock at 6. Blitzards might have got a little hand on the wrist. That's what Steph Talbot suggested. Referee shook it off. One superstar to another. Cambage right at Tomlinson. Spins out away from the double team. Couldn't finish. So Tomlinson on the rebound.
Now it's Wilson, one-on-one with Cole. She pulls up for 3. That's the type of confidence you want to see, and also the type of confidence that they did miss a little bit on Sunday when she wasn't in uniform. And it's all tied up at 9. Cole luckily finds O'Hay. Cambage for 3. Right back at them. She's got 7, and it's 12-9 Southside.
Well, it's tough. It looked like a bit of a defensive breakdown there, and you give Liz a wide open one. As we said, she's kind of got her eye in early from those 2 little cheapies.
No, Tomlinson right straight back at Cambage. And that's going to be the thing. Luella Tomlinson's been able to do that this year. Did it early a couple of times on Sunday as well. So you're going to have to guard her out there as Mitchell just finds Cambage. Look for the contact. Referee said there was none forthcoming. Gets it back. Takes the contact that time. A little frustration, but she's earned herself a couple of foul shots. And that is the best way to try and go at Cambage. Step outside and make the decision of if she's going to guard you.
It is, but on the flip side right now, that's Tomlinson's second foul, which is really going to hurt the Lightning. And you did well to be able to come across and affect that first shot, but you can't go chase that rebound. You've got to turn around and find Liz and just get her out of the key, because she's going to go after those O-boards. She wants to finish those through the physical contact, and unfortunately, you've got to sit, especially after knocking down a 3, there's no worse feeling.
First one short. Chelsea Brook comes in. Nothing but net for Cambage. She'll take a seat. Rachel Jerry comes on, and that's the depth, and that's also what Steph Blitzarf spoke about to us in the pre-game. Cambage out, dual Olympian in, but you've got to be able to find their roles, and it seems like, from what Steph told us only moments ago, that they are understanding them a little bit more as this season goes on.
Well, you're right, and that's the luxury they have with being so deep, is they don't really have to sit players for whole games, because you look at it, Liz Cambage is only playing 22 minutes a game. The most you're going to get is from Jenna O'Hay and Blitzarves at 28 and 26, so they can afford to rest players during games, and that way keeping your roster all together and working out those roles for when the business end comes of this season. Everything's just going to try and click, and then you guys can go and try and win that championship.
Here is Talbot. We rung no good. Blitzarves on the rebound, and when they're in semi-transition, they're scary. And here we go again. Clydesdale is having a great year as well. She's just in. Here is Blitzarves. Puts the head down. Just couldn't get it to Jerry, who finger-tipped it out. Turnover for Southside. That'll be their second. 2 apiece early from these 2 teams. Here in Cairns, Wednesday night, Chemist Warehouse, week 4, or round 4, lifeline round. A little more on that as the night continues. Great pass all left inside. Little lefty from Brook. No good. And they're the ones, Pete Hawley, that when you get the opportunities off a nice play, you've got to be able to finish, because Southside can hurt you at the other end so easily. And that's a perfect example of going too early as a commentator. As Blitzarves misses. Blitzarves misses again. That was 2 different players, though. And now Clydesdale runs down the outlet. One more. Blitzarves, same spot. That's off. Talbot with her 3rd rebound. Wilson can't finish it. Gets her own rebound. A little bump. Didn't matter. Uses the left hand. She's got 5.
Well, you're right. It's good to get a breath in there, but especially with Liz Cambage out, is you're going to have those chances to finish those bunnies around the ring without that extra helpline defender coming across. So they've got to really make sure they do it. It's a great follow by Alex Wilson. Here she goes again, just putting her head down. And that's what we know from her. She's going to be aggressive towards the rim, and that's why I talked about the guard play of the Flyers. In the game against the Canberra Capitals, it kind of got exposed with Maddie Rocci and Jade Melbourne, and then the next game out, it looked like a switch had flicked. Leilani Mitchell and Bet Cole set a tone early, especially defensively, and everything else kind of flowed. So that was going to be the challenge that will be set tonight with Alex Wilson coming back in, because you know she's going to be aggressive towards the rim.
Sarah Blitzarves takes a seat. Jenna O'Hay comes back in. Wilson to inbound. Adelaide by a point. 4 minutes to go. First quarter. The snag pit in Cairns. Here's Wilson. Oh, wide. Nice little pick and pop. Chelsea Brook. Nothing but net. The lead is 4. Cambage. That is a great pass from Clydesdale, and a result in an and 1. And you spoke at the start about the fact she was facing up and hadn't even had the seal yet. There's one of her first, and Clydesdale was able to find the great pass. It was Brook at one end, but you've got to switch on because Flyers run it straight down your throat like this, and when she's that deep, it's game over.
It is, and I think Cheryl Chambers kind of saw that Alex Wilson was kind of starting to play aggressive, and they were a small little lead, but you could see what they were trying to do and threw Liz back in. And yeah, she gave up a 3 down one end, but if you're defending her, you've got to do your work early. You've got to try and frustrate her, try and niggle her a little bit and just keep her away from where she can do that, because when she does that, she is virtually unstoppable.
But how do you stop that? Do you meet her early and put some body on her outside the three-point line? Because the moment she's there with her depth of players, and Amy Clydesdale is one of those players who can pass so well, it is game over. And here we go again on the run. Great pass from Clydesdale. Steph Blitzar's underneath, kicks it out. Jenna O'Hay straight on 3, bang! And that 4-point lead is now gone. It's the Flyers with a 3-point play, and now a 3 the old-fashioned way there, and they're back in front. Wilson draws a double team. Gambage on the rebound. Wilson might have got a fingernail to it and put it out.
And further back to your point, you were talking about what you can do there. I think that's what you've got to do, almost when she steps over the half court, because the Flyers 1 through 5 can get the ball off the rim and go. Just try and hit her and meet her early, and it's harder now because you've got Tomlinson on 2 fouls. You might wear one here and there, which is going to make it more difficult now, but do that work early and really try and make her uncomfortable, because when she gets deep like that,
it's over.
It's over.
It is.
And you're going to foul and you're going to rack up fouls and send her to the line.
Blitzars. Moved the pivot foot. Had Cambage trailing. Couldn't get it to her before the travel was called. 5 turnovers for the Flyers, 4 for the Lightning. So I'm sure that both coaches aren't exactly impressed with the amount of possession these teams are giving away early. Wilson thought about it, let it go. Love the aggressiveness. It's the way she plays her basketball. Long rebound to O'Hay. It's all the way to the rim. Takes the bounce, gets the nice little roll. And a 3-point play opportunity now, Southside. And have a look at this. Talk us through it, Pete Hawley, because she's a player, an opal, a superstar. And if you're going to foul her, you've got to foul her harder than that to stop her.
Well, you do, and we talked about the depth they have. And she hasn't set the world on fire this year, but she's played her role perfectly for the Flyers. You know she's going to be a leader. She's the captain. But she steps up in those moments where she has to, and the offense kind of looked a bit out of control the last couple of times down. She waited for that little rub screen where Liz kind of ran into her defender and just used it perfectly to get to the rim. And she's a very, very smart player and goes about her business very smart, and that's why she's so good.
Whittle runs out of space, kicks it straight. Wilson thought about it, turned it down. Turned down the second little 15-footer as well. Weerung won't turn it down. Great rebound. We're going to start again. Out to Whittle, right in front of the bench. They're up. That finds bottom of the net. And an entertaining opening quarter as Adelaide. And when a team coming off a big loss only a couple of days earlier, you sometimes can be a little concerned about their aggression or their lack thereof, or how shy they will be. Adelaide at all not showing any of that.
Oh, I'm sure Chris Lucas is telling them, you've got to take your opportunities, you've got to take your shots when they're there, but to be able to get extra possessions, that's a great offensive rebound by Chelsea Brook, and then throw it out to Whittle. And if you get a semi-green light off an offensive rebound, you've got to let that fly. You've got to shoot with confidence. You see Nat Hurst there, I'm sure she'd be telling him the same thing. What a terrific guard she was. But that's exactly what you've got to do against these Southside Flyers. Try and get as many offensive rebounds, those extra shots, but look after the ball. And then you can try and see what happens. You know what Liz is going to do against you, but can you make it every time as hard as possible and try and wear her down over time? You're not going to completely glove her because she's just too good. But can you wear her down over 40 minutes? And then likewise, can you be ultra aggressive, we've seen from Alex Wilson, keep getting to the rim and keep putting that pressure on her?
Steph Blitzars nails both. Wilson takes a seat. Talbot comes back on. And that lead is 4. Here is Talbot. On our Opals teamout, Cambage got in the air and really ran out of places to go. And now another turnover. That's 5 for the Lightning. Clydesdale into Cambage. No double team now. Comes from Talbot. He got a hand on it. But in the end, Liz says, I do not care. Bring all 5 my way. I got 13.
And you saw the double, triple team come on Liz there. And if you're Abby Weerung there, come early with your body rather than your hands, because either you're going to get a ticky little foul and it's going to really cost you, but if you can get there on that double team, you know Liz is going to turn aggressively to the middle. You can take one through the chest and try and get a charge call, because she's too big and she's too strong, and if she gets to where she wants to get, it's all over, as you said.
Tried to bump her. No, it isn't. It's an offensive foul on Steph Blitzarves. As I said earlier, they've been very hot on the offensive fouls in this Chemist Warehouse WNBL season, and there's another one there. Already 3 in the first quarter. Talk us through this, Hulls.
Well, it's, one thing is for credit is they just moved there looking like going forward. Didn't do too much wrong, but again, credit to the Lightning players, the defense to be getting through.
What do you mean didn't do too much wrong? She didn't do a thing wrong. You can say it.
Mate, that's why I'm not a referee. That's why I'm sitting up here.
Talbot at the other end takes full advantage of that. She's got 4. Here is O'Hay, and there's the deepness that we spoke about. That's going to count. And 1. Little push. She's got 15. And exactly what we spoke about 3 minutes ago. Talk us through it against Hulls, because the exact same thing happened. And unfortunately, Patish whittled too late. Little push out the way by Liz. Who was that? Wee Rung, did she push out the way? No, it's Chelsea Brook.
And that's what happens. It's too strong and she steals. When she gets down there, it's all over. And then if you're going to get caught up with it, you've got to make sure she doesn't get that shot off to at least make her go and earn 2 rather than a 3-point play.
She's got 16. And the lead is 7. 11-second differential between the shot and game clock. So Southside will get 1 more attempt. That's well and truly short. By Batish. And she's doing, though, exactly what you suggested is the best way to try and get under her skin a little bit and not let Liz get so deep. Here's Clydesdale. Uses both ways of the Cambay screen. Kicks it outside, in and out. Half celebration because it looked good from Jenna O'Hay. It will not count. Steph Blitzarves, that wouldn't have counted anyway. And it ends what has been a very entertaining.
It looks like we've got a technical foul there on Liz. It looked like it might have been. It'll be interesting to see the replay of. She said that Batish, I think, just ran into her. But again, that's what I'm talking about. She was trying to do her work early, being very physical. And Liz doesn't like that, but she can dominate in those ways. You've got to try and do it early, but obviously do it the right way, nothing cheap.
I would like to see the replay of this. Cheryl Chambers was suggesting, I'm not sure they can review a tech foul, but it is interesting because occasionally in these situations, you have 2 players are going obviously to the huddle to get out the corner of your eye. I'd love to see a replay. Obviously, we're not sure there is a tech foul. It looks like there's a tech foul, Liz, as well as we have a listen to Chris Lucas.
Okay, so change sides and get them moving, okay, and we'll get good shots against this group. Right, so one side action is good if it's in the first 6 seconds. Otherwise, shift the ball to the second and third side. Okay? Right. Go shirt again. Yep, shirt again. Have a look when we get. If we don't get it, continue to play. Okay, get the flare pick for yourself, all right?
Whoever's got the smaller dart out of me.
Right, got it? Same group. Let's go.
There we go. Strike on 3, 1, 2, 3. Strike. Here we go.
So we have a look at the replays.
It is tough.
I don't think.
There's not much in it, but I think what doesn't help was probably the push before, because automatically the referees are thinking there's something going on. There didn't look like there was much there.
But there was more in the push, which I agreed with the decision not to.
Yeah.
And too often in basketball around the world, there's a reprimand for some passion. Now, I don't think it should accumulate, and that should be. That was only a quick little look.
When I saw it in fast time, it looked worse than it did in that replay, just because I think of what had already built up over the last 30 seconds. But yeah, there didn't seem much in it at all.
And this is why Cheryl Chambers was suggesting maybe to go to the review centre or the replay, and the rules probably are that you cannot. But I also think in those situations when you've got some time, as Steph Talbot tries to make it.
And as they say, ball don't lie.
That's what Liz is saying right now.
I'm sure she is. But Chris Lucas in that quarter-time speech was saying if there's something in the first 6 seconds to attack the rim, otherwise move the ball from side to side, because the first 6 seconds the defense isn't set. Best chance to get to the rim or draw a foul, but if you can't get anything in that first 6, wait until potentially the last few seconds of the shot clock and really move that ball.
7-point lead as we kickstart in the second. The snag pit. Nice attack by Talbot, which is what she's been doing for a number of years now, of course, in the Opals squad, part of the Opals team at Commonwealth Games and the World Championships in that time. Right at her Opals teammate, Blitzarves. Gets a little bump. Great pass, Whittle, great cut. Jerry got her on the wrist.
Oh, it's just a really great play, really great read by Whittle there, and very high scoring game so far, which is great for Lifeline Round. I know you're donating, we're going to donate for all the points scored in this game, but as the assist that Jenna O'Hay said, all the Southside Flyers girls are getting around. There it is, text WNBL, 8 assists so far for the Flyers. I know that the Melbourne Boomers are going to be doing the same thing, the Perth Lynx. I wouldn't be surprised if all the teams get around it. It's such a great cause, and we just hope that someone can get the word to Liz that we need a dunk tonight so you can really pay up.
No doubt. For every point scored, I am going to donate $1 to Lifeline. It's a wonderful organisation, helping so many people in their darkest times, and we all need to stick together. But you put it to me that if Liz, or anyone on the court, gets a dunk, but Liz Cambage is probably the
I'm still waiting.
favourite.
Monique Conti hasn't checked in yet. There's still a big chance there.
I will donate an extra $500 on top of the $1 per point. Lifeline answer more life-saving calls from Australians in their darkest moments than anyone. So, wonderful cause. We've all got to stick together in 2020, which hasn't been great for too many people. Beck Cole straight back on. She opens her account in the second quarter. She's got 4. The lead is 7. Wilson, great pass inside to Whittle. Couldn't quite finish it. And now this semi-transition where Southside, good job by Lightning to be able to stop it. Whittle slips over, hey, all the way to the bucket. Talbot late. Referee finds something that didn't like. That'll be her first of the night. Oh, hey, as you touched on earlier in the game, her aggression and be able to pick her spots and her moments is something she's done so brilliantly for so long.
She's been more aggressive tonight early on than we've seen so far this season, which is a great sight because we know how talented she is, especially offensively. But Whittle's 2 really smart slips down the other end. Just unfortunate, missed that last one. But I saw a little bit of full court pressure, the 2-2-1 full court pressure from the Lightning. I like that. Throw something different. They nearly had a turnover and then forced a tough shot from Beck Cole in that short corner. She was good enough to knock it down, but I like that. Switch it up on defense, really try and throw different things at the Flyers and try and keep them off guard.
Great pass, and that's exactly what Chris Lucas was talking about at quarter time. If you can do something in the first 5 or 6 seconds, take it on, and he believed there's maybe a vulnerability there in the Southside defense to guard semi-transition. That's a perfect example of it then. O'Hay. Mitchell, 3. Nats. Her first points of the night for the superstar. Here is Wilson, attack, kicks out. Whittle for 3, right back at them, rattles it down. And the points are starting to really flow now, and it's back to 6.
Oh, it's just great offense. And we talk about get the ball to Alex Wilson's hands, especially early, because she's going to create something. That was all created by her. Great knockdown by Whittle there, and we keep harping on about it. It's Beck Cole as well, which is what we wanted to see. I'm glad that we're talking about it because it's just a great cause, but this is the offensive shootout that we all wanted to see tonight. And there's been a couple games where they've been struggling from shooting from outside, but not tonight. And both ends just splash, splash, and splash.
Their ability to be able to, in semi-transition, push it and get 2 feet in the key and be able to dish it out, because both teams are full of players who are great off the penetration and also when they're able to kick out for the wide open 3, draw the defenders and kick out, and that's exactly what has happened in the last couple of minutes. And when you are being aggressive and you're full of confidence, this is the type of point scoring you see.
Well, it's the type of way the Adelaide Lightning play. We talked about, unfortunately, we listened to Cheryl Chambers a little bit here.
We're going to look to the
curl this person here, Jenna, because you've got it on a string here. You're going to have a look for her. So we mightn't get the curl, we might get that one, or the curl off the end of it. Okay, is everyone all right with that? Yeah. Let's make sure, I don't know what happened in that foul shot, but we should be getting a layup here. Let's make sure they're off to the races, so you might have to just go back to someone else's man. All right? Here we go. Here we go. Southside player.
But yeah, this is the way the Lightning play. They like to play quick, and it's not just, as you mentioned, that first 6 seconds against the Flyers necessarily. It's just a really smart way to play when you've got the speed and you've got that talent to be able to take the ball and go, especially with the ball in Alex Wilson's hands early. The defense isn't set up. She drew 3 because she went so early and kicked it back for a wide open 3. And you've got to be ready, if you're another player like Whittle was just there, to tee off and let that thing fly. And so far, they've been shooting very well. 5 made threes each, which is really, really fantastic to see so far.
9-point lead. What can the Lightning do to ease into it now? Here's Talbot. Brock inside Whittle, which is one of her great strengths, being able to get position deep in the key. Now it's O'Hay the other way. Cole just hit a 3. This time she's deep into it. Wilson met her at the rim. Wee-rung, here's that semi-transition. The other way, all the way to the bucket. And this one she probably should have made. And Adelaide do a good job there to slow down fast-paced offense by the Flyers. Steph Blitzarves. O'Hay. Little fake, step under, little dream shake, that'll count. And another 3-point opportunity for the Flyers, and they're getting these buckets too often, Pete Hawley.
Well, they are, and we spoke about it in the first quarter where the Lightning just missed a couple they need to be making, especially with Liz off the floor. And a couple of times now they've had semi-uncontested or makeable layups that you've got to be knocking down, because if you don't do that in a couple of times down the floor, when you come back down and the Flyers are getting 3-point plays or hitting threes, all of a sudden this leads out to 11 when it probably shouldn't be.
Real disappointing turnover there. Wilson just half spent it before she was off. We know that she's at her best when she gets it and runs. But that lead is 12, 7:20 to go, second quarter. Mitchell can't get it to Blitzarves, finds Cole, turns down the 3, takes the 18-footer. That's a little short. Blitzarves couldn't hold on to it. Talbot gets her 3rd rebound. Wilson having a great night. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Takes it right on Cole. Great body control, couldn't finish it. Blitzarves snaffles it off the rim. Here's Beck Cole. Mitchell, 3. Already has 1 this quarter. Can't make it 2. Oh, Jenna O'Hay just picked that like a dirty nose. Finds Steph Blitzarves, but Talbot was up to the task. Is that not the saying, Pete Hawley? I might have stuffed up.
No, I'm not sure. I'll let you have that one.
Should have said read it like a cheap novel. Either way, Wilson on a step back. Never looked like it. Steph Blitzarves with the rebound.
And they're the shots that Chris Lucas won't like, because they're contested threes in that first 6 seconds. You're either taking a layup or you're attacking downhill rather than settling for contested threes, and lucky that Southside didn't extend that lead.
A little bit of a scoring drought here. Been a couple of minutes. Good pass inside. Whittle on the roll. Again, misses one she probably would normally make.
She's had a couple of those this quarter, and you're right, she gets in the perfect position. She reads the defense so well, slips, really gets into those right spots. She's just got to reward herself right now.
Mitchell off the Steph Blitzarves screen. Left-hand dribble, baseline, step back, 5 on the shot clock. Gonna need to get to work. Sarah Blitzarves knows all about it. Fadeaway was never gonna get there. Beck Cole, hands in. Referee.
Yep. Pretty easy call there, but that was probably the first play with offensive possession for the Flyers we've seen that's been a real dismantled, disjointed, because for the last few games, and so far this quarter, their offense has been clicking because they're executing, and I think they got exposed in that Capitals blowout because the Caps just, how well they execute on the offensive end. And Alani Mitchell touched on it after that game, saying they had a meeting, talked about role clarity, they needed their defense to step up, especially their guards, but they really harped on that offensive execution, running through sets, and you see it. They've got double down screens, players coming off, more down screens, cross screens. They're really working well together as we listen to Cheryl Chambers.
the whole way. So let's have a look at the roll and the pop here. Okay, defensively, it's a little bit better. Okay, I like the way that you guys are slowing the ball down. So continue to slow the ball down. All right, so next play we're going to go double drags. All right, if we've got a layup, we'll take it. Otherwise, we pull it out, double drags. If nothing's in it, just move the ball around. Okay, penetrate in the next pass. Here we go, ladies. Southside players. Keep on the D.
And what we were talking about there, Pete, was the very fact is that when you have this much loaded talent in a traditional season, it just sort of works its way out. There's not pre-season. It's a couple of games in. And to be fair, a team that you played on, Melbourne United, that ended up winning the championship, took those first 4 or 5 weeks to be able to work into and understanding everyone's roles. But it's exaggerated here due to the fact that there's not as many practice sessions, or at least full training sessions. And the fact is this thing's over in 7 weeks. So you've got to be able to speed it up compared to what would normally be something that would organically come with so much talent.
Well, exactly right, and the crucial, like one game, if you're off for one game, it could be the difference between you winning the title or not. So that's why you don't see right now Cheryl Chambers resting players, because she wants everything to be clicking. Great take by Steph Talbot there, and you want things to be clicking so that you don't have to think about that or try and find that role clarity when in a crucial game where, oh, if we miss that, we can get the next one. There might not be a next one.
Mitchell no good, long rebound, blitz serves just nonchalantly with the dribble, couldn't hit the 15-footer. Wilson. We run, that's nice.
Shooter's roll, especially after the way she shot last game. She was terrific, had 21 points, 4 of 5 from deep, so that was her first make for the night. Good to see her get one down. Expect her to get a couple more up.
Cole at the top. Once the Pizzi screen comes off it, step back. Couldn't get the shooter's roll this end. Pizzi with the rebound, could have gone straight back up. Just handed it off to Blitzarves, who in the end did a little Dirk Nowitzki 1-foot fadeaway from 9 foot. Wasn't overly pretty, but in the end it counts, and the lead is back to 10.
Well, that's what she does. As I said, she is the barometer. Steph Talbot takes a little jump shot there. I'd like to see Steph really try and use those ball screens and try and attack downhill, being aggressive like Alex can. But that's why Sarah is so good on this team, and everything she does, she finds those gaps, she gets those offensive rebounds, and when Liz is on, she just gets to the right spot to really complement her, and she's had a terrific season, and that's why she is, I believe, the barometer of this team.
12 the difference, Southside, 4:08 to go, second quarter. We run, didn't even think about it. 6 on the shot clock. Why should she? Nothing but net. Got a little confidence, not just after Sunday, but on one going down a moment ago, and she just catches and shoots. That was what we watched when we seen her have 21 against the Flyers a couple of days ago. She's up to 5.
1 for 1. Don't call me the Oracle yet. We'll see what else we can talk about.
She'll need to have 200 for me to call you the Oracle, Pete. I'll give you the drum. There's Beck Cole down the other end. Little crossover, she nails it. She's up to 9. Kept alive brilliantly.
2 for 2, and that's just we talk about the offensive rebounds right there. Basham just knowing that she couldn't get it, just tapping it out, and shooter's roll when she got that first one to go. Now she's hot, and hopefully she keeps feeling it.
She's got the last 8. Blitzarves into Pizzi. She's able to make the reverse layup work. The lead's back to 10, so for all the good work that Adelaide are doing, they struggle to get this in there and keep it in single figures. Basham couldn't quite find Tomlinson on the roll. Now it's Mitchell. Cole, 3, got it! That lead is 13. And again, semi-transition as another lazy turnover by the Lightning. They're now up to 11 in the first half. Cole takes a seat with 12.
And she's feeling it as well, Beck Cole, that little pull-up jumper, and she's already hit a couple threes. And just a great look by Leilani Mitchell, and just drawing a couple defense, seeing her defender help off, and Beck Cole with her feet ready to let it fly. And she's off to a really good start, and that's what they need from their guards. You know what you're going to get from Blitzarves, you know what you're going to get from Liz, but can their guards really set tones early in games? And that's the real thing they've been found out so far. They've been good tonight.
Mitchell off the curl screen, and that's too easy for the superstar. She's got 5. And that lead is 15, and it doesn't feel like. Best thing about sport, Oracle, is that there's always a scoreboard to tell us exactly who the better team was by how much, but it doesn't feel like a 15-point lead, or at least it shouldn't, but it does, and this is the talent they have. One more. This time it's Blitzars for 3 from Leilani Mitchell. Nothing but net. Mitchell's now up to 5 assists. The lead is 18. And some panic stations here. Wilson, great little... It's a great pass to Tomlinson. Don't know how she didn't get called for a travel, to be fair, but either way.
I thought there was an extra step in there, but give credit to the Southside Flyers defense, especially Steph Blitzars as she knocks down a 3 here, but she's been everywhere on the defensive end, helping out, getting across on that help side defense, and then Jenna O'Hare, she's the anchor when it comes to that. That's her leadership, but their defense has been tremendous this second quarter. And I think they can move a lot quicker with Liz off the court because they can switch a lot if they have to, and it can stay in front of these younger guards. And
Conti, great pass. She enters the game for the first time. Blitzars with the cut. She'll go to the foul line for 2. We haven't seen, you just mentioned that there, we haven't seen Liz Cambage this quarter. So we'll be interested to see what her second half minutes are like. They lead by 18. Is this an opportunity to rest her, or is it important to be able to find and continue to find the right combinations, and something we've spoken a fair bit about?
Well, it's both of those. She only plays 21 minutes a game, so you know she's going to play more in the big game, especially when it comes towards finals, but she can't play 40. So it's like, who's going to be able to be that group on the floor when she sits off that can tick over the scoreboard and get stops? And that's what Cheryl Chambers gets to tinker with in games like this when they build these leads.
Wilson spun into the double team, and O'Hare was able to get her hand in. Now they push Conti. Great pass. O'Hare lays it in. That's going to count. And 1. That'll be on Smith. The lead is 22. And if you have a look at this, their defensive intensity never wavers. And a lot of it, Conti. Clydesdale. When it's not Mitchell, when she comes off, we've got Clydesdale who comes in, who is exceptional. And anywhere she plays, the team has success. Been in the grand final last couple of years. Conti, opposing point guards just get no time off, and it must be almost hell when you've got to face that for 40 minutes.
Well, it would be, and Jenna Hayes another one. She's been great defensively the last couple of minutes, but Monique Conti, and I've spoken about it before this season, she's going to play a big role in how far they go. For exactly that reason, it's a guard-heavy league to take out Liz, because there's some tremendous guards they're going to come up against. And Monique Conti's one that Cheryl Chambers can now trust to be like, go and harass the other guards and really try and make their life tough. And as you see, she's going to be trying to do it now to Alex Wilson. And if she can knock down that open 3 as well, she's going to have a massive say in how far the Flyers go this year.
Taylor in for her first minutes as well. O'Hare takes a seat. It's a 13 in the first half. The lead is just blown to 23. Conti sizes up Wilson. Steph Blitzar's having a great first half. Can't continue it there. Wilson with the rebound. That'll be her 4th. Weirung needs to get a look here. She scored 8 in a row and hasn't been able to get a shot up since. Beautiful. Smith. Look, ran out of options. Late end footers, nothing but net. She opens her account. Steph Blitzars. 7 points in the first half. Here's Pizzi for 3. Couldn't feel it there. Now they're going to push. Wilson, little semi-transition. We've got 15 seconds, but Weirung says I only need 1.5. It's off the iron and through a Steph Blitzar's rebound. The Flyers will get the last shot of the first half. Clydesdale dangerous, always at the end of quarters. This rattles out. Conti runs it down, gets a look. And couldn't finish it to end what has been a very entertaining first half and a very good second quarter by the Southside Flyers. And as you can see on your screen right now, after 20 minutes here at the Stag Pit, the Cairns Pop-Up Arena, it's 60-39, Pete Hawley. Early thoughts?
Oh, what a quarter by the Southside Flyers. A lot of the damage was done with Liz sitting off, but their defensive pressure as a team is something that we haven't seen over a consistent period of time for a lot this season. They were terrific. They were moving off the ball together. They were coming across that help side defense. They were playing with their bodies and not their hands. And then when they were getting deflections, it was smart ones. Jenna Hay getting a couple steals. But I think the guard defensive energy has been really good. And I think Alex Wilson kind of really put her head down, was aggressive in the first quarter. And then, as you said, Beck Cole, Lani Mitchell, Monique Conti said, hang on, we've seen this story before, and just stepped up, made her life tougher. And that's why this lead just ballooned out in the blink of an eye.
Here's the halftime show. Creatively named, I must say, Big Lully, when we sat down to be able to come up with something what we're going to call it. But it's halftime and a pretty big lead right now for the Southside Flyers. Not dissimilar to what happened on Sunday. That second quarter was brilliant by the Flyers. Liz Cambasia, who didn't play in the second quarter, leads all scorers with 16, got a tech foul right on quarter time, but it didn't matter. And so much of what you spoke about there, Jenna Hay had a really good quarter as well. Beck Cole got hot. They got so many stars in the league, and the defensive intensity does not drop. And it was like a 4 or 5 point lead for the Flyers in that second period. It's now been blown out to 21 because at different points it just got so hard for the Lightning to score. But as we go back and look at the first half highlights, Wilson and Cambasia went at it early. But Beck Cole, everywhere you look in this Southside team, you've got to be switched on, because if you drop your head for 1 minute, these type of things happen.
Well, I think that's something Cheryl Chambers is going to be quietly very impressed with. She probably won't say it at halftime because she wants to keep seeing more of it. But the damage they did without Liz in that second quarter was awesome. And we talked about their defense. We're going to touch on how well they were at moving in that second quarter. They could switch a lot. They were really helping each other out. But their offensive execution as well started to flow, and then the confidence flows. And that's something that role clarity gives you. Once you realise, oh, I'm coming in for these minutes here, and you kind of know your role, you're going to get this from Liz every single game. You know she's strong. You know how good she is at what she does. What happens when she has to take a rest, or if she gets a couple of fouls? Cheryl Chambers is slowly starting to get confident with that group she can play with, especially that quarter. She's going to look at that tape, and that's probably going to be the best quarter she'll be happy with so far this season.
In particular from a defensive point of view, and we know when Liz is in the game, she just locks that key up, and it's so hard to be able to get 2 feet into the key and make the right decision because she is there. But the defensive intensity to not allow Lightning really anything. Outside of Abby Reerung, who got hot, hit 8 points in a row, but even then, the last 2.5 minutes, she wasn't able to even get a look in outside of a rush 3 with like 15 seconds to go in the quarter. And Steph Blitzos, when she joined us prior to the game, she spoke about that meeting that you discussed, and although the very fact of making sure their roles are very defined, well, that's a well-defined team and stacked roster we're seeing right now, because everyone is coming in and it's not just playing your role, but it's having the confidence to be able to play your role perfectly, and they've been able to do that in the first half.
Well, yeah, both teams are shooting okay. 50% from the Flyers is probably too much if you're the Lightning, but the 19 assists, that's what stands out. The Flyers are moving the ball, they're flying it around, which is a great thing to see, especially when you've got that much talent. And it's always going to come back to that medium, because that happens with talented teams in the year. And you touched on the Melbourne United team I play with. You're going to have those slip-ups, and it's not just the way they lost to the loss to the Capitals. It's the way they lost. They got exposed. Their offensive execution was awful, and then defensively they were just nowhere. And they let Matty Rocci and Jade Melbourne just tear them apart. Next day, team meeting. Every player puts their hand up. Not happy. Not happy. These are the roles. Cheryl Chambers kind of picks out where everything is. And all of a sudden, they've kind of got things together. And when they're playing like that, they're dangerous.
What goes in a team meeting like that? Is it led by the players? Is it led by the coach? Does everyone have their say? Is it like an open forum? Like, obviously, every situation's a little bit different, but the theory is the same. Hey, we're really good, and for whatever reason, we're not playing right now at the optimum. Again, I spoke about it earlier. It's exaggerated. It's a short season. Almost barely no preseason. Quarantine thrown in. It's 2020, really, in the way that we've all had to go about it. What goes into those meetings? Who leads the way? And, like, is there offence taken by different people at different times?
Well, that's the kind of thing. If you want to be a good team, you can't take offence to that, because you've got to know everybody on your team wants to win. So they're going to say whatever they have to. And it sounded like, listening to Lani Mitchell talk, that Cheryl Chambers said we need a meeting, but then the players kind of took over and said, this is where I'm at, this is where we're at. And then it just gets a chance that you can go around and say, this is where your role's at. You might be able to tell a teammate of yours, you might have Bet Cole talking to Steph Blitzard saying, when I come off, I want you to do this, and then vice versa, or how you want to start. And it just builds up that confidence to know, okay, this is where I sit with this team. We're extremely talented. And I feel confident going forward that if I do my part, they're going to do their part, and all of a sudden we're going to be a very good team. And we saw it there in that second quarter.
And best thing about it being in the hub, you can have team meetings in a pool.
Well, based on a lot of social media we've been seeing, I think the Flyers have been doing a lot of the pool, which is good. That's what you need. You didn't have the preseason. Team culture wins championships. It's no secret. You look everywhere in every kind of sport. Team culture wins championships. And I don't know whether it's the last couple of days, we've seen the Flyers more all together in the pool, doing all that kind of stuff. They're loving being around each other, and it's showing when you're playing like that.
Of course, the first half full of highlights. Let's have a little look, because it has been a situation where the Flyers have really been able to get going. And Liz Cambage, as you touched on, this is the thing, in any team, in any league, in the world, she's a focal point. Well, she had 16 points, 3 rebounds, 6 of 9, and early she was just able to turn and face and get what she wanted.
She did, and the first 3 shots she took were face-ups that kind of got her eye in, which makes it really tough because you know she's going to be able to take those whenever she wants. But when she gets too deep like that, she's just unstoppable. And the hardest thing to do is to try and do your work early, and that's what Cheryl Chambers wants to see. Is there's going to be games when you've seen the 2 games they've lose. Mariana Tolo, Kayla George kind of put that body on her, and over time could wear her down, and she still had 20-odd, but they got the win. So it's kind of like, what can you do with that in games like this, where unfortunately Thomason got a couple fouls? Yeah, you can throw Liz in to just throw it to her, but are they going to get better from that? Probably not. So I think that's the thing Cheryl Chambers has to weigh up in games like this.
Those 16 points, 3 rebounds, all from the first 10 minutes because she didn't play in the second quarter. It's extremely hard, and I'll use Adelaide as an example. It's extremely hard to double her because if she does spin into the double team and we see that she holds the ball high, normally it's a much shorter guard. I think it was Rerung a couple of times. Even if it's someone like Allie Wilson who is quite aggressive, it's almost like a pseudo double team to just try and surprise her rather than stop her from getting a bucket because she has the ball here, so a double team makes no reason when she's that close to the rim. So you spoke really well in the first quarter about the only way to really even slow her down is try and get under her skin a little bit and put a body on her before she gets down. But they take it off the rim so well, Southside, and semi-transition. It's either a wide open 3, when you've got Leilani Mitchell as your point guard, it's either a wide open 3 because she gets 2 feet into the key, or it's Liz Cambage one-on-one, and I mean this, every single defender in the world, I feel sorry for you because there's nothing you can do to stop her in that situation.
No, you're right. She's just too strong. She knows where she can get to be successful and when she can do things like that. So it is hard, and as you said, I tried to think of things you can do, and obviously I don't have the answers for them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here and be coaching a team. But that's the thing can you do the physical work early? And you see she can get a little frustrated with the physical side of things, but can you do it early and not let her get to where she wants to get to? And she got the first face up on Thomason, knocked it in, and then had a fadeaway miss, but then had another one where it looked like Thomason was close enough, but she's already got her eye in now.
Well, but when's early? Like on the tip? Well, because you're right, they go straight to her off the top. Next thing you know, you blink, she's got an early 4, she's feeling good, as she should be, and next thing you know, they're on this run.
We expect her to come in and do this for this league.
That's also true.
We expect her to come in and dominate. She's one of the world's best. But the thing you've seen in a couple of games, if you go back and look at the tape, that first game, the game against the Caps, Tolo not only tried to be physical with her in the first play defensively, she went at her herself offensively. She sealed up on her and just kind of let her know that, hey, if you're going to try and score on me, I'm doing the same on you. And if you're going to foul me, I might get a couple of 50-50s going my way. And then it's all about, can you take anything through the chest to try and get an offensive foul and all those kind of things, because we know she's coming in this league to tear it up.
Now, as we have spoken a fair bit about his Lifeline round, and get donating, because we've seen so many of the girls, so many of the clubs get involved. We did see, of course, Jenna O'Hay be quite public in the last year or so about a family tragedy. So what you need to do is to text WNBL to 0428 519 716, which is on your screen right now. Lifeline answer more life-saving calls from Australians in their darkest moments. And I think everyone, unfortunately, knows someone personally probably that's been through really dark times, and continuing to talk about it is one thing, but Lifeline, brilliantly done, and I pledged prior to the game $1 for every point, so $99 for me so far, Pete, and $500 if Liz Cambage gives me a dunk.
We need to get her on the court.
Added to it. So we need to get her on the court. So I am hoping that she's not being managed. She was great in that first quarter. So let's see how we go. But
No, it's a terrific thing you touch on, and Jenna Hay, what a catalyst behind it all, and the rest of the league getting around, and the teams, the players, they're all supporting her, and it's a great thing. And as you're donating, pick up the phone, maybe give a call or a text to one of those people you haven't spoke to in a while, ask them how they are. You never know how much a conversation can change someone's life, and it's a really awesome thing that she's doing, and I'm super proud of what the league's done and what she's been able to do, and it's just going to keep building. And I think that's the best part about it, is it's just the beginning for it all, and great awareness that's being brought, the money and everything, and if you can just keep reaching out to each other. And man, it's been a tough year, so yes. you know people need this more than anything, and I'm glad that we can do all this for tonight, and I'd love to see a dunk go down, and
so would I.
Even if they can want to lift someone up to do it, we'll make it count.
I'll make it $750.
There we go. Well, we got to get the message down to Liz that she has to throw it down for us.
Good news is she's starting the third quarter, so
someone's got to have told her at halftime.
Hopefully get word through at the snag pit, and we'll see how it goes. 21-point lead for the Flyers. Second half about to begin.
Leilani Mitchell on screen there. Her ability to be able to just find the open woman is a huge reason why she's been a superstar right around the world. Of course, WNBA as well. 5 points, 5 rebounds, rather 5 assists. 5 points, 5 assists in the first half.
And I think it tells a lot that we talked about the meeting on her, but she kind of found her groove and played really well the other night and started to knock down shots. And you could see she was kind of getting in her own head a little bit. She had a couple of off games, but we know how good she is. She's unbelievable, and she's been that way for so long. So for her to be finding her feet now, knocking down the threes, but dishing and being that point guard that we know she can be, the Flyers are all of a sudden more potent, and it's really showing.
Mitchell, Blitzarves, O'Hay, Cole and Cambage back to the starting 5 for Southside. Here is Cambage, no double team, face and score straight on Tomlinson. Exactly how the game started, that continues. She's up to 18. Wilson, Whittle, Talbot, Tomlinson and Weerung for the Lightning. Wilson had 7 points and 5 rebounds in the first half. Here's Talbot. Shot clock down to 5. Weerung's going to have to get to work. Little pick and pop. No one popped. Now it's Beck Cole. Another turnover after 13 in the first half for the Lightning, and Beck Cole makes it pay. She's up to 14. Pulls up. Little semi-transition. No one came to her, and she finds bottom of the twine. Talbot. Whittle, 3. Off the iron, Blitzarves.
It's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but that first play was ran to get Steph Talbot going. She averages 21 points a game. Sarah Blitzarves has been all over her from the jump. You can see she's taken that assignment on herself. And yeah, Talbot's got 6 points, but they've been tough. She's had to work for it, as we see Jenna Hay. What a game she's having.
She's up to 15. Throw 3 rebounds and 5 assists in as well. That was a little easy for the Opal. Here is Talbot. Can she get going here? Tomlinson can't get it to Wilson. Great D by Mitchell. Little screener roll. Great pass. Bounce pass from Wilson. Tomlinson was able to roll off it and lay it in. And that's the Lightning's first points for the second half.
Oh, it's a really good play. And that's the kind of way we have seen the Flyers exposed in the past, when they can get Liz on that ball screen. Beck Cole's feeling it right now. And you see, you get Liz caught in two minds. Is she fully going to commit to a show or a drop, or is she going to go back to the roll? And she got caught in two minds there and gave up a layup. And that's where I think they need to get to the Lightning.
Talbot had Cambage guarding her for a split second. Didn't want to try and take it. Now the cross-court pass. Cambage, this could be it. Takes it all the way. Beautiful Euro step. She's up to 20. Turnovers continuing to hurt the Lightning. I've got a bigger number than what we're seeing on screen. Either way, too much empty possessions. The lead's out to 29. Here's Weerung. Tomlinson says you have to shoot at 5 on the shot clock. Tried to bank it home. Whittle kept it alive and did it well. New 14 seconds for the Lightning. Alice Wilson does not need much of it. She finds bottom of the net. She's up to 10.
That was all created by Whittle, just getting that extra opportunity. And if you get any kind of green light or open space to knock it down off an O board as Beck Cole lets one fly, that's where the Lightning have to try and chip it back, is getting those extra shots. As you said, they've had 15 turnovers. You've got to get a shot down the floor every time. You've got to get a good shot. This defense of the Flyers is looking really good. As we're on right there, and she is a shooter.
She got 11. She had 8 in a very quick patch in the second quarter. And now she got 11. 4 and 9 from the field, but hasn't been given many opportunities, Pete. But as you touch on, when she gets it, she makes them pay. Here's Blitzarves deep in the key. That's the same move she had in the first half, and that's the same result as well. She's able to find another 2. She's up to 7. Here is Weirung. Little pick and roll with Whittle. Always finds herself in the right position. Intelligent basketball, can't get it to drop again. Little pick and pop. Cambage, Mitchell. Kicks out, Cole feeling it this quarter. That's a little short. Runs her own rebound though, and in the end, Weirung wanted it. Cambage did enough, now it's Tomlinson. Picked up her dribble though, and then threw it away.
And she did want it. I would have liked to let her see her fly before Liz closed out. You see right there. And especially when you're a shooter and you saw that Beck Cole was down, so you had a 5-on-4. If you're not going to attack and try and get the open one, you've got to try and take what's given to you, because those little turnovers, 16 turnovers right now. It's tough to win any game with 16 through to this point of the game, let alone against the Flyers with so much talent.
Clydesdale in. As is Steph Blitzarves, as is Jarry. Here's Cambage, just turned, and it is just too easy. She is now up to 22. You can send double or triple teams, but that's just too quick. She's turning and shooting, and it's given no opportunity for the defense once she's got her that deep.
Yeah, you're right. As you said, she's got her eye in now, which makes it just so much harder to guard, and she can have what she wants when she wants, because she's done it her whole career. And just a turnaround there. And can Alex Wilson come off and try and get a hand on the ball? Probably not, because Leilani Mitchell's standing right there, and she's feeling it well tonight.
And that's the thing, you can't. I spoke at halftime about doubling her, as Wilson says for 3. I'll take it and make it. She's up to 13, having a nice night. Back on court tonight after missing Sunday's clash. It's one thing to double team when she holds the ball high where you can't get it. It's another to actually leave who you're guarding, knowing who's on the floor. Jarry with the shot clock at 5. Here's Cambage, too deep, too strong, too big, too talented. 24 for Liz.
Great pass by Steph Talbot there. But one thing that it's going to have to pick up as we see now, the guard pressure. Can you pressure the guards the whole way down the floor, try and make them have to start their offense further out than the three-point line, kind of put pressure on, try and get deflections as that ball comes into Liz. That's going to be the real saver right now, is putting that pressure on those guards, because as you see, Mitchell gets too low, which makes that pass over to Liz way easy. If you've got Mitchell out past the three-point line on her back heels, all of a sudden it's going to make it a tough pass, which she probably still will be able to just lob it up there.
That's what I was about to say. They're so Leilani Mitchell for 1, Cole, Clydesdale, as we've seen her do it in the first half. Their ability to still be able to find her in that situation. Now, you're right. It's the right thing to try and do, but it also opens the keyway a little bit more, which means sometimes it's a one-on-one, and you just have to kind of find it into the range, because Liz has got the reach and the athleticism to be able to go and get it.
You're right. The hard thing.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It is, and especially if you're the guards, because you know that you've got to. If you're going to pressure and try and really get up and in, who's got your back? Because if you do get beat, which you might every now and then against Beck Cole and Mitchell, you've got to have someone have your back. But the Lightning are going to look back at the tape. They've missed so many bunnies at just really unfortunate times, and then down the other end has normally always been some sort of foul or a three-point play, which has really just hurt them.
Talbot, great pass. They're able to finish it. Chelsea Brook, 25-point lead. We're going to have a timeout. Look at this run here as well. Steph Talbot. So a couple of nice nearly assists in this quarter. This one was able to count. 6 point. This is what the stars do, Steph Talbot being one of those. Only the 6 points that you touched on, but 5 rebounds, 3 assists now, and she's able to influence the game in so many ways.
Yeah, it's been tough, and a lot of credit to the Flyers defense in trying to go at it, because they know that's a credit to her. That's how good you are, that they're going to try and really make your life tough. And this is what good players do. Find other ways to get involved. Get your teammates involved, get those rebounds, set the tone on defense, and that's why we see her. And hopefully now things can start to open up for her.
Let's go Jayco side here. Ella, just basket cut and buttonhook. Okay, now if it's on, not on, move it to the 2 side. Okay, and then swing it back again.
Yeah.
Okay, out of the timeout, we're in 2, back 2, okay, second pass. All right, got it? All right, where we go?
Second pass.
Go, I'd rather get blocked.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, right.
Okay, run the floor up. Okay.
23-point lead for the Flyers. Jerry. Straight into the game. She's able to knock it down from the baseline. It's her first points of the game, and into that zone with the Lightning out of a timeout, but Southside handled it pretty easily.
And it looked like they went on the same page. I liked that it was a switch up, but you saw Steph Talbot a bit disappointed that she had to close out on the ball and the pass to the shot. So someone else has to be on that rotation there. And
Talbot able to pick up the loose rebound. She's up to 8. They stay in the zone here, Oracle, or they go back to man, do you think?
well, it looks like they're trying to throw a different kind of little zone out there, and it's going to be hard. When you've got Liz in a zone, it's always going to be difficult, but it's, and you've got Leilani Mitchell. As you said, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Pick your poison, but there's a way that you can try and really junk it up against these kind of teams, and it's something you have seen in the past in different games of maybe one time down the floor you're in a zone, then you double team everything, then you're just trapping thing, and then you're double teaming Liz. It's a great knockdown there, and just keep junking it up to keep them guessing. Because if you stay in a zone now, Liz is going to find her way into the right spot eventually.
Patish nails a nice three. Both teams shooting fairly well from the three-point line, as you can see there. 11 threes now for the Lightning. Here is Mitchell. Inside to Cambage, too easy, and this is the thing. If you're going to zone, I don't know if you can zone against them, mainly because their ability to either dribble or pass penetrate is going, it can't be slowed down. So Mitchell,
you're right, there's ways you can kind of junk it up, as I say, where maybe you're in a zone as Talbot, hopefully you can see her start to get going. You zone one time down the floor, the next time maybe you show a zone, and after two passes you match up. And it just keeps them guessing the whole time rather than saying, hang on, they've been in a zone the last 5 possessions, as we see Liz right now just getting whatever she wants, wherever she wants. But if you're not active either, it's just going to be an even harder assignment to do. You need that pressure still to be able to give the Flyers something else different to look at, because without that, they can run whatever they want, and eventually they're going to either get a wide open three or they're just going to find Liz down low.
29 for her tonight. The only thing she hasn't done is dunk. And I'm hoping she does as she rips down her 6th rebound of the night. We needed her to play the last 10 minutes, Pete.
We need someone to get the message down to her to cherry pick and just get one.
We need to get the message to the coach first, Cheryl Chambers, to make sure she stays in the game.
Well, you're the reverse Oracle because she's just gone off, but what a great quarter she's had, and as you said, she's come into this league to do exactly this, and I think Cheryl Chambers now has that confidence over the last couple of games of when she does sit that the team is going to be able to carry and build leads, not just try and maintain where they're at, and their defense has been tremendous. And this lineup they've got right here, I think, is one of their best defensive lineups, and there's only one starter on the floor, and that's Jenna O'Hay, but you put Sarah Blitzarves in, but Clydesdale coming in, Steph Blitzarves, and Monique Conti, as I touched on, she's one of the toughest to go against when she's getting all up in your skin. And when their defense is playing like this, they're just so hard to score.
I assume that when you're in a situation as the opposition point guard and you see a player who plays in the WNBA take a seat, you probably traditionally have a sigh of relief knowing in a moment or two of not being pestered and out-roll Amy Clydesdale and Monique Conti and Steph Blitzarves, who's been Defensive Player of the Year, and you're just like, this just isn't fair right now. There is where you run. Great look. And that's a perfect example of what you just spoke about, Pete. And they just push it and push it. Steph Blitzarves to Sarah. Here is Clydesdale. Gets into it. Look, what was that? It's a little, I love it, whatever it was.
Running sky hook.
Running sky hook.
More of a
I want to see
side
more
hook.
of that. Yeah, it was a little sidearm. Patrick Mahomes sort of, yeah, I want to see again. Steph Blitzarves with the rebound. They're going to get the last shot. Here is Clydesdale on the push. Blitzarves just lays it for Conti, uses the left hand to kiss it off the window. The lead is 27. Last shot, in fact, will be. No, it might not be. Conti just picks the pocket of Weerung and is able to finish it. What a way to end the third quarter. And on cue, Pete Hawley talking about how great this defensive unit is for bench players. And they end the quarter playing great defense. Perfect example there, spins, and Weerung just says, where to go? Conti has a little look at the clock and just finishes it beautifully with the left hand.
She might not play a lot of minutes, but when she does, you know what you're going to get from her. And that's why I said she is going to have a lot to do with how far the Flyers go. Because when you come up against those games, the teams would have terrific guards. Talk about the Caps, how well they're rolling. Boomers now, Maddie Garrick started to find her groove. Townsville, Laura Nicholson, Shyla Hill. If one of them gets rolling, Cheryl Chambers just looks down and says, Monique, go in there and just do your thing and just harass. And that's what she does. And that's why she's going to be so important. But I've seen a lot of the Flyers so far this season. I think this has been their best defensive effort as a team for the whole game, because when Liz has gone off, that, as you talked about, that five right there, they're switching everything. Everyone's running, help each other. It's just looked so in sync, and the energy's been terrific. And I think Cheryl Chambers is going to go back and say, this, as a defensive game, is something that we need to try and get a switch to flick on every night.
Okay, again, get to the second side, get good shots. All right, don't get many easy ones. All right, keep practicing what we're trying to do today. Got it? Let's go.
Go now. Here we go, ladies. Strike on 3. 1, 2, 3. Right.
117 points is the highest team score in this 2020 Chemist Warehouse WNBL season, so well and truly on pace to be able to break that. Smith, Ortlip, Weerung, Petish and Whittle for the Lightning, Clydesdale, O'Hay and Blitzarves. That'll be Steph, Conti and also Sarah. To start the fourth quarter, here in the snag pit, Cairns.
You're really trying to make the snag pit stick, and I'm all for it.
Great start, Ortlip for 3. She opens her account. And that's exactly what Chris Lucas spoke about at three-quarter time. Swing the ball and find someone on the weak side, and they're able to do it to open the fourth.
Well, no Wilson, no Talbot. They're two main leaders, and he wants to see who else can step up right now. And the game might be out of reach, but this gives you opportunity going forward. We know Lightning have played a lot of games in a short period of time after that quarantine. So who right now will take advantage of a little green light opportunity? And if you're one of the players on the floor, I want to take this. I want to get that confidence from the coach that I can be able to come in and have more of an impact in future games.
Conti runs down the O'Hay miss. Oh, great take. Jenna O'Hay takes a little bump, finishes it. Another three-point play opportunity for the Flyers. Great pass. And that's all a little bit too easy there, Pete.
It is, and I think this is one of the most complete games we've seen from Jenna O'Hay this season, and she doesn't have to score a heap. She doesn't have to rebound a heap. She's got enough talent around her to do it. But it's her defensive leadership and her movement on defense, which is now combined with the fact that she's got 18 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. This is the most complete game we've seen from her, and I'm really happy she can do it, especially as we touched on it being lifeline round. This is a huge opportunity for her, and it's just so great to see. And This is why she's one of the best. This is what we know and we expect from her.
Shot clock running out. Couldn't make it finish.
Oh,
what a pass. Oh, hey. Missed one she would normally make. That was a great pass by Sarah.
I thought that was in the fourth row. That was we talk about Patrick Mahomes. There was a right there. There's Jenna Hay again.
Steph Blitzars for 3. Long. Whittle with the rebound. Weirung. Whittle for 3. No good. Sarah Blitzars. 10 boards on the night. Here's Clydesdale. Give me another little running side hook. That time she said no. So Blitzars is going to give it to us there as well.
And there's still been those good flashes from the Lightning. I think Chris Lucas can go back and look at the tape, and we talk about it being too easy. There are some things that
an amazing pass. Sorry to interrupt, Peter.
Well, she does all the things that the assist will show up on the stat sheet, but just not how good if Jenna Hay made that. You'd be a little flat if you Sarah from that. But Chris Lucas will look at it, and the thing you probably live with is Liz getting down low, being too big, too strong. But the unforced errors, the silly turnovers, they're going to cost you. But they've got in the right spots a lot of times and missed some bunnies. And that's been compounded down the other end with 3-point plays and 3 balls. And as I said in the first quarter, over time that's going to hurt you. It didn't when it was a 4-point game, but over time it has. And they slowly start to build up, and there's been more than one. There's probably been 4 or 5 where you've missed a layup, and then down the other end there's been a 3-point play or a 3. And that's a huge swing.
Wilson back in. Talbot as well. Great defense by Sarah Blitzar. It was almost on cue from Pete Hawley. Now she's going to have one-on-one against her Opals teammate. Waits for the troops. Clydesdale, hands off to Conti. Guarded by Wilson. Shot clock at 10. Jerry, Blitzars, too deep. Couldn't get it to work. Smith with the rebound. We see Gillum into the game for the first time as well. Clydesdale, it was almost an accidental steal, but in the end she makes them pay as Smith was able to lose handle of it.
We'll go back to that block mentioned by Blitzars. What a great read. Not coming off the help side, which you're not supposed to. But a credit to Rachel Jarry there, just keeping your feet, keeping Steph Talbot in front of you, and then Blitzars to be able to get back to that corner 3 and not only just contest it, but block it. It's just their defense, a great take. That's the Steph Talbot we love to see, and it's been a tough night for her, but that's all the credit has to go to the Flyers. And I think Sarah Blitzars just put her hand up, as you see right here, just to get back to the shooter. And Rachel Jarry just keeping her in front, and Sarah Blitzars knowing exactly when the Steph was covered to be able to go back and contest that and block it. And their defense has been tremendous from the get-go.
Three-point play, done. Talbot's got 11. Look at that junk up the floor defense you speak about. The Flyers are able to easily break it for a split second at least.
We saw it a little bit in the second quarter after a free throw. They ran a full court press, and they nearly had a turnover, and unlucky that they didn't get it and turned into a Beck-Cole jumper, but they went away from it, and they've kind of sat back, and we've seen little glimpses of aggressive defense. And besides that, it's been too easy, and that starts with guard pressure. But again, that comes with where you're at as a team, and I think that these teams are in 2 different places, because you think of how well the Adelaide Lightning started, and it's a big momentum thing to have to go into quarantine for a week in a hub season and come back and try and find where everybody's confidence was at, where everybody's mentality was at, and try and get it back. And then you come up against a team like the Flyers, who have now found it and are clicking. It's going to be tough.
Jerry, second one's off. Wilson gets a long rebound off a couple of hands. Weirung has not had a second to herself tonight. Talbot, Smith turned it down. Wilson's got 13, couldn't make it 16. Here's Conti off to Jerry's screen. Little screen and roll. Hand was nice by Wilson. Now it's Weerung's going to push. Does she wait for the troops? Slips over at a crucial moment. Perfect opportunity here with the jump ball for me to say, Pete. I don't like the jump ball. I don't like the possession arrow. There should be a jump ball here.
Well, mate, get a petition going or something. It's been in the game for so long now. And
I think the jump ball was in longer, though.
well, yes, you're correct. And
Juniors, I'm 100% fine with juniors.
yeah, all right, I'm with you. I'll back
if
you.
you're
Mate, you haven't said anything really wrong in your career, so I'll back you.
One thing I said wrong, I called you Oracle before. I'm a bit down on myself, to be fair. Something that's going to be big, Pete. I think, obviously, Lightning are still there to make the finals, but at least from my opinion, is that it will be Canberra, Southside, and Melbourne, who were brilliant last night. If Maddie Garrick is able to shoot the ball like she did and play like she did last night, they are so much better. And then Townsville. The big thing will be, of course, with the finals and the double chance for the top two. If you're able to win that first final and get 3 or 4 days off in this type of season, wait around and find out who your opponent is by, obviously, with the prelim. It's going to give a pretty big advantage to whatever team that is who wins that 1v2 matchup in the first night of finals.
Well, it is, but it can work on the other side. I completely agree with you, but it obviously depends which team has seen another just unforced error there from the Lightning. But it depends which team it is, because certain teams might really work well with a little bit of a break. When you're playing every second night, you kind of get into a routine and a rhythm. Momentum is so big in a season like this that if you're all of a sudden, if you're Townsville and you're just rolling and you're putting up points and you're getting some momentum going, you don't want to take a break, and then you can catch a team slipping if they're coming off a 5-day little rest. As Conti has a drive there, and all it takes is it's one game. So if you catch someone who's just not on their game, it can be the difference between winning and losing. It's so obvious, but it's in a season like this, it's so important. I think you don't have the chance for that to think about, oh, will the rest help us, or should we keep playing?
I think the extra, you're right, but I think the extra, what'll be an extra, say, 3 days, 4 days, to be able to put your feet up to some extent in a shortened season, not having to worry about player management. Might get up for the finals, Pete, since we're now, good move, couldn't finish it. Full capacity announced today at Townsville, so the joint's going to be rocking.
Well, there's another reason for the Townsville.
I've never been to Townsville as well, so might be no better reason than to visit than when it's going to be a cracking WNBL final series.
If you get your private jet, I'm with you.
It's not a bad point, actually. Cam Air. Great pass. Couldn't finish it again. Some of that frustration, you spoke about it before. There's some frustration that...
Well, it's the defense. That was the defense we needed to see. The aggressiveness, and to kind of show Weerung just before, just getting up. And yeah, you gave away a foul, but it's something that we haven't seen so far. It's the pressure, and I see Conti let one fly right now, and there we go. And that's more of the reason that Cheryl Chambers has that trust in her, that if she's knocking that down, not turning the ball over, you know you're going to get the defensive end. That's why she's going to be massive down this stretch for the Flyers, but that's a great take right there from Chelsea Brook, and 30 assists for the Flyers. The ball is just flying around the court, and
perfect example there. They're able to find Taylor for 3 from the extra pass from Jerry after Conti with the hockey assist was able to get deep into the key. Sad part is we're probably not going to see, as basketball fans, Mon Conti be able to do this in the WNBL, and as bad as 2020 has been and the altered season, it gave her an opportunity with AFLW not clashing. Of course, we did see her play at Melbourne and the Boomers previously, and then the situation where it clashed in with Richmond. So hopefully there's a way to make it work. But it's going to be very hard, because once the season goes back to normal, the start...
Well, it is, and I'm a massive fan of what she does, because when you're a player on the bench on any team, you've got to accept your role in order for that team to be successful. And she does that. Not only you can tell, but when games where she hasn't played at all, the next game she gets thrown out there at random times and nothing changes.
Yep.
She goes at it the exact way she always will, and that's something that if you're a coach, if you're Cheryl Chambers, you love to have that. It's a great knockdown right there. from Chelsea Brook, but if you're Cheryl Chambers, that's the players you love to coach, because you know that in certain games, if you can't get her on the court, but when you need her, you have that trust that she's going to come and deliver. And I mean, when you're a leader, 2 sports, it's going to make things a lot difficult. And
there it is.
Oracle
takes a little bump right on the elbow, is able to find the bottom of the net. She's got 9.
And we spoke a little about
9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, Pete. That's in very limited minutes.
It is, and she hasn't really, besides that one, had to create too much. She's just got to knock down shots and then be aggressive, not turn it over. And her defense is what's going to get her on the court. And she's brings that energy and that spark, another spark off the bench. But we talked about Chris Lucas giving these opportunities now for other players to step up. And Chelsea Brook's been one. She's up to 12 points right now and had a little layup before and then knocked down a 3-ball. And that gives Chris Lucas something to look at going forward.
Smith. Great D by Taylor. He's got nowhere to go. Shot clock's down to 6. Now they're going to have to get to work. Jaeger, 4, 3. That is great defense. It was also a great shot. She was able to kiss it off the top corner of the backboard and from the bottom of the net. Check this out, Pete Hawley. So that's all right. She throws it up. Oh, it was a bit tough to see.
But that's another one, just Taylor coming off the bench, hasn't seen many minutes, and then you're just picking up where the rest of the team left off. And
that's brilliant.
That's the Cam Luke shot that we're used to seeing. It normally goes the other side of the backboard.
Have not been beaten in horse in 4.5 years. Might be 5.5 actually. Yeah, it is. Just kill him for 3. Hard off the iron. Great defense again by Taylor.
It's definitely the best defensive display for 40 minutes that we've seen from the Flyers. There's Conti right there. Oh, gee.
Deserved better. Pizzi with the rebound. Had it knocked out by Brook. It'll stay with the Flyers.
We deserve that highlight with that little jelly right there. And a little whoop. Might be a little too pretty.
Something you've never been described as. That'll be a jump ball.
But Taylor, another one, just come in for the last few minutes, and her defense has been outstanding. And Cheryl Chambers has got to be stoked with what she's seen from the whole roster from tonight. It's just been a complete team effort, but not so much the 109 points. It has been their defense, and it's been their consistent defense. They're moving. Look at them switching right there and helping each other out. That should have been a layup right there for Bastion, but they closed that gate, and now they've just got it on lock, and it's just been a massive display. It's been such a terrific display, and that no more than that possession right there, and very good luxury to have it for Cheryl Chambers.
Are they the favourites in your mind?
Right now, since what we've seen, they still haven't beaten one of the, convincingly, the Caps or the Boomers, which we saw what the Caps did, but they look to be rolling right now. They're clicking since that meeting, and that's what good teams do. And their offensive execution has been excellent, but their defense is what's going to win them a title. So I think right now they're well and truly going to have to be the favourites. But I do love the Caps.
Great move all the way to the bucket. Couldn't finish it. It was Gillum, and this is petering out a little bit here. Great D again. No, that's a horrible sound.
And that's the last thing the Southside Flyers, everybody in WNBL wants to see, and we're just hoping that everything is okay there with Rachel Jarry, and didn't look to be too much in it, so that's a very worrying sign, but we just hope that everything is okay and not as serious as it could be.
We will, as we do hear news for people watching around Australia, we'll just have a look at Jenna Hayes' highlights, because she's been brilliant again tonight. 18 points, 6 assists. And you spoke off the top too, Pete, her ability to be able to pick and choose. And by that I mean, we know she's a superstar. She's part of the Opals, but at different times she's been able to play her role brilliantly. And tonight, at different times, aggression is great on defense. Her ability to be able to step in and just picked a loose ball, then make it run at Conti, and then there was a three-point play. It just must be, and you talk about, we've spoken about that meeting, when you have Jenna Hay doing exactly what she has to be able to do, not forcing her. Not just because she's an opal and she's in the Australian team thinking she needs more shots or to take shots because she hasn't had one for a little bit. The very fact is that she was brilliant tonight when she had to be aggressive. As we are thinking, of course, Rachel Jerry, she's being helped off the court right now. So if we do get news before we are finished, we will update as, of course, family and friends and basketball fans right around Australia watching, and thoughts and hopes that it isn't as bad as it did sound for a split second, Pete, and it's the last thing anyone wants to see.
Especially in a game where they've played so well, and she's played very well. As you said, our best wishes go out to her, and hopefully we can get some sort of hope of good news from that. But yeah, Jenna Hay, what a game she's had. And I think the key you said is she doesn't force anything, and that's what, to have a player of her caliber come in and accept that role and thrive in that role, that is an awesome thing to have, and that's why she's so terrific, and she's been awesome tonight, and 18 points. And yeah, Liz might steal the headlines with 29 and 6, but Jenna Hay, not only just on offense, but her defensive leadership and her activity has been outstanding. But it's been a massive team effort. Sarah Blitzar's 10 boards. Beck Cole got going there for a bit, 16 points. Leilani Mitchell hit a couple threes, got 7 dimes. It's just been a really good, well-rounded effort.
Resume now for the last 30-odd seconds. Conti for 3, can't get it to finish. It's been a big night for the Flyers. Been soured in the last 40-odd seconds, though, with the injury to Rachel Jarry. So Brooke forces it up, can't finish it. Conti with the long rebound, and that will do it here from Cairns. I like the fact, good to see Monique Conti take this shot, and I do not understand why people just dribble it out. There's the statistic in that, and I like to see Monique trying to get the job done, but in the end, it is a big win for Southside, 111 to 72. And they just continue to get bigger and better each and every time we do see them play Pete Hawley. That was a nice win. Liz Cambage only played in the first and third quarters, still had nearly 30 points. So she has been brilliant in a big win that, as I said again, we are going to try and see if there's any news, but soured a fair bit by an injury, or an apparent injury, to Rachel Jarry in the last 40 seconds.
You can see there's not too many smiles going right now with the Southside Flyers. A lot of heavy hearts hoping that that's not as bad as it seemed, but it really was a terrific team effort from start to go, and that's what we expect from the Flyers and what we've seen for the last couple of games since that loss to the Canberra Capitals. And they were excellent from all forms. Every single one of them really stepped up when they had to, and led by Liz, led by Jenna Hay, led by Sarah Blitzars. But their bench was probably the biggest highlight for me, because when they came in, nothing stopped and they just helped it go. And it seems they all have so much joy of playing together.
When they're playing like that and they're getting up and down the floor, in fact, there's been a lot of that in the WNBL this year when it comes to getting up and down the floor and the intensity. It is so much fun to watch. All right, well, we spoke about Liz Cambage so much because she was dominant, 29 points, 6 rebounds, and she does join us now. Liz, that's another big night at the office, but another good win. I'll try again. Liz, you got us.
I hear nothing.
There you go. All right, well, I'll tell you, well, we're here. Liz can't hear us as our technical crew in Cairns try and get down to it. It was a big win, though. She had 29 points, 6 rebounds, and now we believe she has us. Hello, Liz. You got us? Nice
got
effort.
you. What's going on?
Well, you know, we're just enjoying your work. Another nice night at the office. This season continues on, and a big effort.
Yeah, we had a really good team game tonight. I got my mum in the crowd today, so I think that gave me a little bit of energy in the start to get it rolling, but a good team win in the end.
Yeah, Liz, you were terrific from the jump in that first quarter, just setting the tone. But it looks like in that second quarter, the team, it's just cut out there. But I was going to ask her from the team, when she was sitting down, just picked up where she had really started. And it looked like the joy that the Flyers are playing, seeing each other really thrive. And in those kind of scenarios is what's going to make them that championship caliber team, and hopefully they can try and keep that rolling, because it looks like it's fun to watch.
It is.
It looks like it's fun to be part of.
It is, and I think that's something that you spoke about there, these two games and the possible meeting. They look like they're enjoying their basketball. Not saying they weren't enjoying it early, but it just comes through in their play for 40 minutes. They know the confidence, so much of what the bench is able to do. It's such a huge thing. We've spoken a lot about depth and, you know, list management or player management, not just in missing a game or two if you've got to try and, you know, soothe or rest an aching body, but the very fact is that in quarters, and it was proven tonight, she only played in 2 quarters tonight, she dropped 29, she had 6 rebounds, but not once, even when she wasn't on the court, and I think we all agree she's the most talented player probably in the world, to be fair, there was no downfall at all from the team. Liz, 3rd time lucky, or we're just going to give up? Have you got us?
No, we're good.
Okay, now Liz, I was going to ask you started off, you said your mum was in the crowd, you started off on fire, but it looks like now, that second quarter, when the bench is on and just rolling, it looks like it's just so much fun now. All the teams going, you love playing for each other, and things are just clicking now.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. We've been together, I think, over 38 days now, so I'm very lucky that I love everyone in this team, and it's such a fun group, and we roll so deep, so it's really giving us starters a break when the young ones get out there and take over, and it's so exciting to watch them get out and do their thing as well.
Now, you might not have known this, obviously, Lifeline round, we were trying to, just the great thing that Jenna Hayes got going, and so much good support from all of you and the rest of the league, but you wouldn't have known, but Cam Luke is going to donate $1 for every point scored tonight. And he also says that if you get a dunk in the next game, he'll throw $750 in there. We tried to get it down for you tonight. Yep. So that's a little challenge being set. That'll be donated. If you can get if you cherry pick, tell Cheryl what it is.
I was hoping to get word so you played in the 4th quarter, Liz, because I reckon there was an opportunity. But is your next game? When's your next game?
Hey, we got Melbourne on Sunday, so I'm not sure if there'll be much cherry picking in that game, but
rest of the season.
I'm itching for it, man. I thought I knew.
You know what we'll do, Liz? We'll make it the rest of the season. So I'm donating the $1 a point for tonight, but for Lifeline, which is such a wonderful cause. And, of course, we know so much of Jenna Hay and her talks about when it comes to the family and the tragedy a little while ago. So rest of the season, if you find an opportunity to dunk, I'll add the $750 to it, because I think it'd be great.
Thank you. I'll let the team know. They got to give it to me on the fast break.
If they lob it up to you, I'll make it 1,000 if it's an alley-oop.
Oi, there we go.
If it's Gaze to Copeland-esque, I'll make it 1,000.
I'll tell Jenna.
Thank you. Hey, Liz, great job tonight. We're loving not just yourself, but the whole team go around and your work. And good luck for Sunday's game and the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
You know what? Rest of the season. If it's in the finals, I'll be there. I can just hand the. I'll throw it up.
Okay. No, how good was she? And as
brilliant.
She had that little bit of extra motivation. That happens when the family's in the crowd, and you saw that from the jump. And I think the Flyers girls knew that as well, because they were feeding her early and only played 2 quarters, had 30, and just that's why she's one of the world's best at what she is. But I think, as she said, and she's harped on, they're clicking right now as a team, and she said that she's loving playing. They're spending this time together. The bonding that you normally get in the preseason in a culture is now being built since the couple of shock losses to the Caps and the Boomers, and things are starting to click. And there will be another hiccup, there will be another roadblock, but are they now stronger for what they've been through to be able to get over that hurdle? I think so.
That's a big game on Sunday as well. Of course, Melbourne got hold of them a couple of weeks ago. Melbourne are playing better. Yep. They were better last night than they have probably their best win, or at least their best game last night when they beat the Caps. But Southside are better as well, and they're 2 teams that a lot of people expected to have a fair bit to say in the latter stages of the WNBL season, and cannot wait for Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be huge. As you said, Maddie Garrick's found her groove now. She's going to have a huge part of it. Tess Madgen, Kayla George, Ezzy, that game is going to be huge, because the Flyers haven't really shown us that kind of performance against one of those other championship favourites. Can they do that on Sunday? And if they come out and play like they did tonight, it's going to go a long way to winning. 31 assists. Look at the steals. 15 steals. Granted, a few of them were unforced on the Lightning, but the assists is terrific, and that's all the money that's being raised, which is awesome that we've seen. And great team performance, and they are clicking, but that game Sunday is going to be a cracker.
Just on Adelaide as well, because working their backsides off, unfortunately, you mentioned it, and while they, on paper, you can say, well, they're not as talented as some of these other sides, the fact is they started the year so well. That big win over the Caps on on opening night. But that week in quarantine, and there's no doubt, there's no way getting around it, it would have set them back, because the very fact is that they've got to be able to find their groove again and find it pretty quickly. I know they've spoken about, as Jenna O'Hay and Sandy Brondello just have a chat about Tokyo. I'm not sure how microphone should be in there, to be fair. But they've got to find their groove, and they've got to find it quickly, because you do feel for the girls, because they were playing so well. They were getting their momentum. They've obviously got some players who aren't there that were obviously originally signed. So hopefully they can find it sooner rather than later and still give this season a push, because their early season form before the quarantine was definitely of semi-final and final standard.
Yeah, it really was tough. As you said, they were rolling and they were a lot of fun to watch, and kind of we talked about how important momentum is in a season like this, in a shortened and quick season, that you can string wins together and quick, and hopefully they can get back to that. And it's going to be led by Alex Wilson and Steph Talbot, but then you've got the young ones who thrive off what they do, and that's what we saw, and I think it will come. They just need to get those games to get that confidence back up and get that mentality going. But yeah, it was unfortunate, and when you've got teams like Southside, Canberra, now the Boomers starting to click, it's going to be tough against those teams.
Christmas isn't too far away, unbelievably. But it is. WNBLstore.com.au, of course, powered by iAthletic, and any team, whatever it might be, whatever you like, if it's T-shirts, if it's hoodies, if it's workout gear, whatever your loved ones love, or yourself, to be fair, just buy it for yourself. That's what I do. WNBLstore.com.au. Make sure you do check it out as we get towards Christmas, or just buy yourself a little gift to celebrate what a wonderful season we are having.
Well, I'm a large mate, so if you want to get anything sorted there. I've seen you do your workouts down at Olympic Park.
Say extra large nowadays. All right, Sydney Uni Flames and the Boomers tomorrow night from Cairns. That's going to be a good one. The Boomers, as we spoke about last night, was really good. And then a doubleheader on Friday. The Caps, it doesn't get any easier for the Lightning as they take on the two-time reigning champions and the Townsville Fire, who I think are the dark horse and the smoky, in particular with the crowd. Lauren Nicholson playing brilliantly. Shiley Heal doing what she can do, and it is finding. I love Ikuso as well, you know, coming back from the ACL. The crowd... I've got a feeling this Townsville team could do some real damage. They're playing Perth, and then of course the weekend. And if you are wondering when the games are, make sure you jump on WNBL socials or jump on WNBL.basketball.
Yeah, I like that you talk about Townsville. I think they're a smoky as well. And Lauren Nicholson, if you take out Liz, she's probably the front runner for MVP right now with how she's playing, and terrific guards around the league. And that's going to be a big game. And I'm looking for the Lightning to try and bounce back against the Caps, which is probably one of the toughest things to back up against, but we get to see the Boomers again, and it's all ready for that Sunday matchup.
Ooh, it's going to be big. All right, we're done. Flyers, big win at WNBL. Make sure you check it out. How much do I owe? Already, do you know?
I'm not sure. I can't even do the math. $183.
$183 I'm going to donate tonight, of course. If you want to donate to Lifeline, it's very simple. Text WNBL to 0428 519 716. I'm about to do that. 29 points for Liz Cambage. You had to get your phone out to work that out, didn't you?
No, I just had to find the kind of those things. But no, great effort from everybody, and can't wait for more.
Yeah, not wait for it. Thank you, Pete. Thank you to the crew out the back. Big win for Southside. We'll speak tomorrow.